Holy flying cylinder heads, Batman. What have we got here? Well, you're right, it is a cylinder head, and it's the cylinder head of my Moto Guzzi Eldorado 1974. When I took off the rocker box, I was greeted with this. A big congealed black mess. Look at that, horrible. Almost like a diesel. So it was with some trepidation that I took off the barrel, wondering what I would find. And really nothing out of the ordinary. But there is a problem, and the problem is with Moto Guzzi and their method of manufacture. The year that this bike was made, and for several years before and after, the factory thought it was a good idea to put chrome bores in. And what happens with these chrome bores is that the chrome flakes off and gets around the engine. And it does untold damage to your oil pump and everything as it goes, because chrome is very hard, which is why they use it for the bores anyway. So I was expecting to find a right mess in here. Thankfully, it wasn't. But, and I was hoping that somebody might have changed the barrel out. Apparently on the bottom of a Nicosil bore, it might say Gilardoni if Gilardoni made it, but this doesn't say anything. So yeah, we are looking at a chrome bore. I've had a magnet on it, and it's not magnetic in any way. Now then, I'm trying to show you an area of frosting about there, and this is on the sides of the bore where the piston touches it, or the piston skirt touches it. The gudgeon pin goes across here, and obviously that side of the piston doesn't really make contact so much with the bore. So we're looking at a frosted area, possibly an area of porosity, possibly an area where the chrome is worn or is coming away from the barrel material. Tried to clean it up as much as I can. I hope you can see it. The sunlight's rather bright, but there it is. It's here and it's here, and there is a little line in the chrome. I don't know if you can see it. There's a distinct line there, which I think has been caused by the engine being stood. This bike had been outside under a tarp for a while, and before that it was imported from the United States, where it was last on the road in 1983. So we're probably looking at, it was used for about 9-10 years and then laid up. I think it must have been parked inside down in the States, and then it was imported up here and used occasionally and stored under a tarp. Not ideal, but better than some of the bikes I've bought. So yeah, you can see that area of porosity right there. So what we're looking at is doing something about this. Are we going to go with a Gilardoni barrel? No, because they're not available at the moment. There is another company that does them. I can't remember the name. They're available from the States, from a couple of retailers there. That's a good option. There's also the option to go from $8.50 to was it $9.49, something like that. That's fine, but on an old bike like this, I'm not going to be going fast anyway. I don't really need the extra power. It's more for sedate touring, relaxed touring if you like. So okay, so let's have a look at this piston. This piston came out of there. Again, it's got a frosted area on the skirts either side, but no deep gouges, which is normal on an old engine to find deep gouges. So I think it might have actually had an air cleaner on it when it was being used. Marvelous. So no deep gouges. I've had the micrometer on it. It is well within specs. It's not worn at all. There is a little bit of muck. I think the muck has caused this. You know, the engine sits and because the cylinders are at an angle, the muck tends to fall on this edge. You know, the corrosion falls off the cylinder head, and when you start the engine up, there's a bit of a grating action there. But that was the side on the low side. And it's not bad at all. Not bad at all. So I'm hoping to use them again. I found an engineering works in Canada that will bore this out, nick a silver line it. I'll send them the pistons so they can inspect the pistons. Hopefully they can use them again, and then they can bore this out to fit the piston. I think that's a good way to go. Apart from that, not a lot really. Going to do the other side of the engine, get these shipped off in the next few days. I continue the dismantling of this bike inside the container here. Keep all the muck in one place. Box all the parts up. Milk containers are good for that. Probably next will be to take the rear end off. Check all that out and check the UJ. And then when I get the engine on the bench, we'll take the engine right down and we'll check the big ends, the mains. We'll check the valve timing drive, etc, etc. Oh, and the clutch. We'll check the clutch out. Probably put a new clutch in unless the old one is less than half worn. So yeah, there we go. Moto Guzzi 1974 winter teardown, rebuild, refurbishment, reborn, whatever you want to call it. So this is what I'm going to do to keep myself busy in the winter. Hope you've got lots to do in the winter. Stay well, look after yourselves and look after one another. Bye for now.